So is it okay if I tell you my story?
Yes.
I saw you shaking your head no. I'm just kidding. Because you're standing there and not moving. Okay, this is me actually. And really I haven't changed much. I mean, I have gray hair, I'm a little bit taller, but I kept the same round shape. When I was 8 years old, my dad passed away. 3 years later, we had a civil war. I lived in Lebanon. We had a civil war. So I lived 9 years in the civil war. And I thought this is a very good picture to show you. This is downtown Beirut, and it was demolished. But also, life for us was normal. You can see a couple just getting married and walking over all the rubbish. But I learned something important during those 9 years. I heard of a lot of people coming to the United States, working hard, succeeding, and live the American dream. So I knew that one day I'm going to end up over here. My cousin that speaks 7 languages, my aunt speaks 9, so I really don't speak a lot of languages. So I learned something new, something important about the American dream. In '83, when I was interviewed, they asked me, what do you see your future? And I said, hey, I'm coming to the United States, finish my education, live the American dream. So a couple of years later, I had the opportunity to come over here. I was in Houston, Texas, and I didn't speak English at that time. So I went to English Learning Center for 3 months. That's all it took me to learn English. And at the same time, I had 2 jobs. So, write actually this down, it's important. In America, most people have 2 jobs and people are unemployed. There's no reason to have unemployment over here. It's a system that makes people go unemployed. Then I moved to Los Angeles, California. And I worked at a car wash. And within 1 week work on the car wash, I was working on the car wash daytime and going to school at night. But within 1 week work on the car wash, I said, wow, I love this business. And I set my goal to own the car wash within 10 years. That was in 1989. 85, 89, sorry, 87. And I say today, luckily, I did not have any friends who tell me that was impossible. No one told me. I didn't know. So I knew I'm going to own the car wash in 10 years. From that point on, I did not see myself as an employee. I saw myself as the owner of the car wash. So most people go to work for the paycheck. I was going to work for the company. So I started coming up with ideas. How can we improve the business? How can we make it better? Improve customer service? And I was going to the owner all the time. And then I started taking over everybody's responsibilities. You know that most people in 8-hour shifts, most people work between 2.5 to 4 hours because they don't want to work. So I was, if there was customer complaint, I take care of it. Problems with employees, I take care of it. Customer employee schedule, I take care of it. So I started taking over everything. I took over maintenance, over detail, over everything at the car wash. 2 years later, I had a problem with the GM, and the GM owned 40% of the business. And he told me, you're fired. So I told him, you cannot fire me. The owner, Sam, hired me, and he's the only person that can fire me. Sam was out of the country. A week later when he came, Fred, the GM, picked him up from the airport, and he told him, either me or AJ over here. The following day, I talked to Sam, and a decision was made. Fred left, and I stayed. And then eventually, Sam bought the 40% shares of Fred. When people say, I believe that whatever happens around you, you're in charge of it. You're in charge of your own work. No one else is. When people say there's no employment security, I say employment security today exists more than ever. When you become so valuable to the business that the business cannot run without you, that's called employment security. Two years later, that was 2 years later, so the GM left, and I told the owner I want to become the GM. He refused because I was still young. I was 24 years old. And I remember he said, we were 3 managers there at that time. He said, the 3 managers are like a stool. You need 3 legs to stand on. So he refused to make me the manager, the GM. I said, okay. The problem we had is Fred, the GM, was a very good salesman. So the revenue of the car was really dependent a lot on him, on upgrading the customers' higher packages. So I volunteered to start selling. And I was so excited, so enthusiastic to start selling. But within 30 days, I started withdrawing. I couldn't sell anymore. Why? Because I was receiving a lot of rejections. And I couldn't handle the word no anymore. I don't want to talk to customer because I don't get the word no. Write this one down. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. So I went to a seminar, I paid $150 to go to the seminar. And when I was there, it's as if Tom Hopkins talking to me and no one else. I mean, he talked to me about the word no, why the word no is a good word, what does it mean, how can you turn the no to yes, and how can you lead customers through questions to yes. So basically, how can you close more sales more often at higher prices? So I absorbed all that stuff. I mean, I was there just to listen, to learn that. I mean, he was only talking to me. So end of the day, I bought his audio books. At that time, they used to be called audio cassettes. Anybody seen cassette, what it looks like? That's how old I am. And I went home that night, I reviewed the workbook that we had, and I started listening to audiobooks, to the audiobook. So within 30 days, I doubled the sales of the car wash. I doubled, like never before. And I did that 2 months in a row. Then I went to the owner and I said, I'm leaving. He said, you can't leave. I said, I have better opportunities out there. So we made a deal. I was making $250 a week. Okay? So I want you to understand that. I invested $150 to go to seminar and $150 to buy his books. $300. That's not an expense, that's an investment. And that's the best investment I've ever done in my life. And I paid it from my pocket, because that's for me. So I made a deal with the owner. I started having $500 per week salary. And I was making, at that time now, $500 a week in commission. So I went from $250 to $1,000 a week. But that wasn't enough for me. For me to stay, he had to give me, and he gave me actually, 15% ownership of the business. The business depended on me. The business was nothing without me anymore. I took over everybody's responsibility, and the sales and revenue depended on me. So I got 15% of the business. You know, most people go to their employer and say, pay me more, and I promise I'll work hard. But if you can work hard, why are you waiting for me to pay you more? Work hard that have no choice but to give you a raise. This is how you're in control. Since 1989, I stopped listening to music in my car. I don't listen to music. I always have audiobooks in my car. Every day I need to learn something new. At that time when it was cassette, I used to have a tape recorder. Any new idea I learned, I like, I used to record it. Then I used to transcribe it. So today I have every note I took since 1989. As a matter of fact, I've written 3 books. And the 3 books were written from all the notes I have. One time I was listening to, Tom Hopkins really was my first personal mentor too. He became my mentor. But I was listening to Tony Robbins. You know who Tony Robbins is? Tony Robbins? And Tony Robbins, he said something important. He said, if you want to become somebody in the future, drop all your friends that you have today and find new friends that already achieved your dreams and goals. Okay? And who am I to doubt Tony Robbins? I did exactly what he did. It is harsh. Drop all your friends, because the friends you have today, they're going to hold you back. Drop all your friends and find people that achieve already your dreams and goals. And I did that. Today, I believe he's wrong. And the reason why, if your dreams and goals are over here, you're down here. Once you get to this point, you're going to realize that this is not where I want to be. I want to be over here. But you're going to get stuck over here. So you want to become someone in the future, find someone who already achieved way beyond your dreams and goals, and they have to become your new friends. So I did that. In 1996, so 9 years after I set my goal to own a car wash, Sam, the owner, wanted to sell the car wash because he had another investment in Arizona, was building a hotel, and he needs to move from California. So he put the car wash for sale for $1 million. And he got a couple offers for way less than what he's asking for. So I came to him and I said, I'll buy. So I forgot to tell you, I didn't tell you one thing at the beginning. At that time, I owned, by the way, 25% of the car wash. So I went from 15 to 25%. But one thing I did in 1989, when he said he gave me 15% of car wash, I had a condition. I said, I don't want to take the profit. You keep the profit. We keep record on paper. So whenever I need the money, you give me the money. So in 1996, he owed me $500,000. So all I had to come up with is $500,000. And the reason I'm telling you that is, how many of you have the latest phone, the latest computer, the latest car? The government here actually teaches you, say, you always go buy the new stuff. The companies say, always go buy the new stuff. Why? They want to keep you broke because they want to make the money. But who's more important? Is it you or is it the companies? So learn to pay yourself first. Learn to save your money. It's not always important to buy the newest phone, the newest computer. Your future is more important. And all you have to do that for is read it for 10 years. Pay yourself first. And I'm going to talk about this. So I had to come up with $500,000. And my credit was good, but wasn't good enough for a bank to give me a $500,000 loan. Because it's showing I'm buying the cars for only $500,000. So I need to put like $150,000 to $200,000 down to buy the car wash. And I went from bank to bank, and I couldn't get a loan. So I almost gave up. I couldn't get $500,000 loan. All I had in the bank was $10,000. And I down credit my house for $40,000. And for the bank, didn't see that I was putting enough money for them to assume the risk. So they needed more down payment. So I was talking to a friend of mine. He's a mechanic. And he owns a lot of properties. 4 7-Elevens and a Denny's. And he looked me in the eyes and he said, AJ, I was saying that I'm always going to give up. I cannot buy the car wash. He looked me in the eyes and said, AJ, if you don't buy the car wash, you are stupid. So I want to ask you, if I kept the same friends that I had before, what would the answer be? It's not for you. You can't afford it. Forget about it. And that's why you need to drop the friends you have and find new friends already achieve way beyond your dreams and goals. Because those people will help you get up there. And your subconscious mind, actually, we're not going to talk about this today, but it's not comfortable being over here if all your friends are over here. Your subconscious mind, the universe, is going to help you get over here. And it's called your wishes are my demands.